Hello everyone, this is Nick with Line 6. Today we're going to be using the Firehawk FX to create a tone for Guns N' Roses' Sweet Child O' Mine. But before we begin, it's good to know what gear Slash used. In Slash's signal chain you will find a Crybaby wah, an MXR EQ, an MXR chorus, and a Boss digital delay. For his amp he was using a rented Marshall Plexi 1959 tremolo model that was modded. The mod routed the tremolo's preamp tube straight into the amp's preamp, giving it more gain and its classic sound. As for his guitar, he was using a Les Paul style guitar, so any humbucker equipped instrument will work. But if you're using a Variax, you can simply select the Lester 5 model. If you want to play along with the song, you'll need to tune each string down a half step. But if you're using a Variax, you can just change the tuning in the preset. Let's see how we can do this by starting with our Variax block in our signal chain. Guitarist Slash is using a Les Paul guitar with the neck pickup active. To achieve this, we're going to slide our guitar model to Lester 5. We're going to leave our tone knob at 100%. And since the song is tuned down a half step, let's slide each string down to get our half step down tuning. Now that we have our Variax dialed in, let's proceed to building our tone, starting with our amp. By pressing the amp icon in the top left hand corner, we can choose a different amplifier. Pressing type will give us our categories of amps. For this tone we're going to select British, then select the Brit J800. Now let's hear how our tone sounds. Now let's adjust our amp parameters. Let's bring our drive to 60, our bass to 37, mids to 89, treble to 59, presence can remain at 0, volume set to 76, and our master to 100. Now let's hear how our tone sounds. Now let's change our cab by pressing the cab icon on the top right hand corner. For this tone we're going to leave our cab at the Brit T75s. We're going to change our early reflections to 50% and then leave our mic to 57A. Now let's hear how our tone sounds. Now that we have our amp dialed in, we can move over to our effects. Our signal chain runs from left to right. Our first effect blocked is our noise gate. Let's move our threshold to -75 and our decay to 0. To stay authentic to Slash's rig, let's drag our volume before the wah-wah. Now let's move to our wah. We're going to change out our line 6 wah to the phasal. Now let's move on to our next effect. We're going to change out the stomp for our modulation effect. Much like changing out our amp, we're going to press the stomp icon on the top left, then type. Now I'm going to press mod, and then I can select phaser. Now let's hear our tone with the phaser. Now let's move some parameters around. Our speed we can bring to 10 Hz, our mix to 41, and feedback to 48. Now let's hear our tone. And now we can leave our phaser off until further needed. The next effect we need before the amp is a chorus. I'm going to grab our modulation block that's after the amp and drag it to in front of the amp. Now let's swap out the sweeper effect for the analog chorus. Let's hear how our tone sounds with the analog chorus. Now let's move some parameters around. We can move the speed to about 70 Hz, our mix to 31%, depth at 60%, and our bass and treble can remain at 50. With Firehawk FX, if I wanted to control the mix of my analog chorus by Firehawk's expression pedal, all I have to do is hold the mix parameter until the tweak assign message appears. Then press OK, then press yes for assign to pedal, and now I can control my analog chorus's mix via the expression pedal. Now let's hear our tone. Now let's move on to our compressor. For the use of a solo boost, let's move our threshold to -24, and our gain to 4 decibels. Engaging this effect will bring up our volume and gain for soloing. Our EQ we can leave off. Now to our delay. We're going to change out our delay by pressing the delay icon on the top left. And for this tone, we're going to choose digital delay. Now let's hear our tone. By using tap tempo, we're going to tap out 120 BPM. Then change our time to dotted eighth, our mix to 44%, feedback to 14, and bass and treble can remain at 50%. Now let's hear our tone with delay. We can leave our delay off until further needed. Our last effect in the signal chain is our reverb. By pressing the reverb icon on the top left, we can select a different reverb. We're going to choose plate, and we can hear how that sounds. Now let's move some parameters. Let's move our decay to 46%, our pre-delay to 50, and tone to 33%, and our mix to 19. Now let's hear our tone. Now that we have our tone, let's assign effects to Firehawk's foot switches. Just by selecting the effect and the foot switch, I can easily set up my effects in the order I want. Our reverb can go on foot switch 5, our delay to foot switch 4, our compressor will be used for solo boost, so we'll put this on foot switch 1. Our chorus can go on foot switch 3, and finally our phaser to foot switch 2. Now we can save our tone by pressing Save Info on the bottom of the screen. First, let's enter the name of our tone. If we wanted to publish this tone to the community, we would want to fill in all song info. Now that we've filled in all song info, we can enter in the guitar tone info as well. Now we can save the tone by pressing Save on the top left, then Save to My Tones. And now we can press Share on the top right hand corner and share with the community, Twitter, and Facebook. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.